When you hear the name of one of Taiwan's richest tycoons, Terry Gou, you might think of Foxconn, the company he founded, which makes your iPhone. Well, now he's trying to do something that Taiwan's government hasn't been able to do: buy 5 million doses of a vaccine made by a German company called BioNTech. Now, Taiwan's government tried to buy them, but they say that they were blocked by China. Perhaps Terry Gou will have better luck? Well, what's interesting is up until this past week, he and other private entities in Taiwan weren't even allowed to buy foreign vaccines.
A lot of private entities want to buy vaccines for Taiwan. That's with the country facing a shortage during its biggest outbreak since the pandemic began. So far, Taiwan has imported less than 1 million vaccines for its population of over 23 million. And just over 2% have been vaccinated. Initially, the government was reluctant to let the private sector order vaccines, but in the face of mounting criticism about the shortage, officials have changed their tune. An expert pointed out that the Pharmaceutical Affairs Act, Article 48.2, says when there is an urgent public health need, specific drugs can be imported and approved on a case-by-case basis. There's no rule that the central government must sign these contracts. Health Minister Chen Sudong explains the government's stance. The reason the government said that it needs to sign the contracts is because the process is very complicated. When the government helps out by signing the contracts, everyone will have legal protection. But if people want to sign contracts on their own, as long as the process is legal, we can discuss it. I hope that the government can take responsibility for these matters, as we can provide more convenient and accessible channels for distribution. We will do our best to find a way to resolve these matters legally. Chen said that private entities must also apply for emergency use authorization and make sure that the source of the vaccines and technical information meets the CECC's requirements. He says most vaccine companies sign contracts with governments or work with COVAX, the global initiative providing equal access to COVID vaccines. But since people have their own channels of access, Taiwan's government is willing to monitor the process to make sure nothing goes wrong.
There are a few entities looking to buy vaccines for Taiwan, including the large Buddhist organization Foxconn, and also, as you mentioned, business tycoon Terry Gou. Now, Andrew, what do you think of Terry Gou's plan to buy 5 million BioNTech vaccines for Taiwan?
Well, Natalie, I think it's a really compelling idea. If Taiwan's government's having trouble due to opposition from China, then let's see who else we have that can help us get the job done. And I think Terry Gou is a really compelling choice because he has a lot of manufacturing plants in China making iPhones. He's got a great relationship with China. Of course, he also has great relationships with manufacturers in Europe. So, if Terry Gou can get the job done, I say the more the merrier. What about you?
Well, I totally agree with you. If he has the connections and savvy to make the deal, then the more power to him. And if he's looking to run for president again, I think he's going to win a lot of votes this way.